Hey everyone, welcome. Thank you so much as always for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew Don't Get It Twisted Lapache. And this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you as always for joining us. Well, a bit of an impromptu show here. We kind of decided to record a show, I guess relatively short one, immediately after the famous fight that everybody,
It's the
everybody's
reaction
expecting. It's the
show.
reaction show, we can call
There
it.
you
The
go.
post show. It's the post fight press conference. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Um, so everybody was watching this, right? So we figured, you know what? Let's not wait until Sunday to record a show because we have quite a bit to talk about. But we wanted to talk about the fight in particular, of course. So I figured, and it was actually Andrew's idea. Let's go ahead and strike while the iron's hot, because I'm sure everybody's, going immediately to their social medias and online to talk about what the hell shit show we saw. So we decided to go ahead and do this. Some brief, talk on Saturday night after the fight before the actual show, or Friday night. Today's Friday. But anyway, before we get into all that fun stuff, Andrew, what's happening?
What's going on, Miguel? Shit, man. Look, did Jake Paul save boxing tonight? Um, it might be a yes. No, it might be a yes. Look, it crashed, right? They're announcing 120 million homes tuned into this fight. Now, I don't know if that's just America's 120 or Netflix's whole platform globally, right? I don't know which one it is. But he backs out of the Canelo fight. All of a sudden, Canelo's not on his radar. Who got in his ear? Somebody told him, "You're in business. We got business here," right? It's not gonna be. I don't know, man. Look, at everyone I know was watching the fight. The decisions were bad. We'll get into that Sunday. Decisions were bad. I even got to rewatch the Ramos fight. That Ramos fight, very close, man. That's a very close fight. Barrios, poor kid, was crying after the fight. Basically, did you see that? It was so
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, it was.
He was breaking up bad in the post fight, like he knew he lost the damn thing. Um, Katie Taylor, Serrano, bullshit. Bullshit. Andre Ward, bullshit. Don't Andre, love you. Andre's my guy. I love him. We're from the same area. But don't give me that, oh, CompuBox don't say it all. When CompuBox says you landed 100 more punches in a 10-round fight, that's saying a whole lot, man.
Yeah,
We got to see. I can't wait until we see the CompuBox per round. But if you do the math on total divided by the rounds, Serrano never lost a round on points on total punches landed. How the fuck she lose a round? Not
let
saying she
let let's
won
talk about
every.
it. Let's talk about it because we kind of wanted to wait till Sunday, but it's such a that we
It,
have to talk about it. Uh, Go ahead.
bro, it's not every round, right? It can't be every round that I'm saying she won. She didn't win every round. But how does she lose 7 rounds plus a point was taken away? So dude, like these judges didn't have Serrano in the fight at all.
Yeah, yeah. It's I don't I so I'm recording this, from my girlfriend's house, and like I was on the way over here during that, the Serrano and fucking Taylor. So I was like, fuck, so I haven't caught all of it. I just saw bits and pieces of it, and then, the decision, and I'm like, okay, come on now. Um, let's talk about that cut. Good lord, that headbutt. That shit was nasty as fuck. I didn't see the actual headbutt because, again, I was in the car driving, so I missed that part. But I saw how bad the gash was, and I saw how bad it was affecting her. That shit was pretty bad. It's I mean, what Taylor got up, was it 1 point deducted or was it two? Remember, was it
It's
one? I
two
don't remember. So
points. It's
okay.
2 points deducted. It's 4 warnings. But not only that, Miguel, where they fuck up on this fight with the head is she never stops not using it. Look at
Mhm.
Katie Taylor isn't headbutting, but she's coming in like this. She's
Yeah.
coming in like this. Even sometimes she's coming up. It's like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, is anyone gonna help Serrano out at all? Yes, she's not doing this. Get it? But if you're coming in with your head first, and Roy, come on, Roy, oh no, that's just the way their styles meet. Come on, stop it, stop it. It was, dude. Serrano even was like looking at the ref sometimes, like, are you serious? Like, she's trying to go backwards. The girl's still hitting her because her fucking head is so far. Now, Serrano, to her downside, why didn't she do the half step uppercut? Why didn't she use the
I think she did at
aggression?
the end, but she should have
Well,
done it
she
big,
should
big,
have done
big.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
she should have made. You teach those kind of people lessons, right, with angles and counters and setups and stuff, right? So I was a little upset that Serrano in her corner didn't figure that out. I am screaming that a lot, during the round. Like, why isn't she using her aggression? I always try to show Junior what could be done in certain situations when things like that turn up. So that's what I was saying about that, about her bringing in her head. So Miguel, like, she wouldn't fucking let up. Like, her
no,
head is
yeah,
just,
I saw
she's
that.
just like following her like a missile. She just
Yeah,
wants it to touch it. She doesn't need to do compact at this point. She just needs to touch and rub. I even think those braided hairs,
oh,
hair
hey,
hair can hurt, man.
it can, and funny that you brought that up because both you and I, shave our heads. I grapple, I do jujitsu. So when I'm on top, you best believe I'm rubbing my hair into that fucker's face. That's I
Yes.
do that shit all the time, and they it kind of throw. I mean, mind you, it's grappling, so it's a different story. But it throws them off. They're like and then I get to do what I get to do, right? It's like little tactics like that aren't illegal, but I wouldn't be surprised if those braids, because they're there, were there for a reason. Because I mean, I don't remember the last time Taylor ever did that with the two braids. I don't. Maybe she did, and I just never paid attention to it. But she usually has it in some sort of one single braid back here, or some sort of ponytail, something like that. I don't remember her using the two braids like that. I could be wrong, but I doubt she's used that before.
And it's probably time boxing looks into all these little things that we've been getting away with here recently. Back in the day, you probably wouldn't have got away with that big, thick ass braids in the front of your head. Using those as not weapons, but she was ramming it, and I don't know what those braids were feeling like in a gash that big. Yeah, I'm sure
Mm.
all that hair just sliding in there probably doesn't feel good. Um, the beard got out of control in boxing.
That's true.
We used to have rules, man. We used to have rules, and somehow we've gone away with them. So we'll talk about that Sunday.
Okay. All right.
Um, uh, I can't believe she lost the fight. She takes four headbutts, numerous lead in with the head. Everyone's against it. It wasn't that Taylor. It's that Taylor was getting excited about her cheating, winning. That's what I didn't like about it. She was like, she would headbutt her, and she's like, "You like that? Huh? You like that? Did you like that? Did you like that?" Like, it's like, bitch, you're fucking cheating. Like, stop trying. She was like, it was very hard to watch as Taylor was getting excited from getting away with what she was doing. The ref should have stopped that fight. The doctor should have stopped that fight. I'm tired of the doctor. Can you see? The fighter's not going to say, "No, I can't see. Please stop the fight." They're not going to say it. You are the doctor, right? You are supposed to look at the eye and just give a fucking determination, medical determination on whether that eye is in the what is it? Process of being hurt, right? Permanently. That's what they're there for.
Mm.
To me, that eye was close to plastic surgery. Like, she's scarred for life. How bad are we going here?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Right?
I hear
That's
you.
already
Yeah.
bad. When you need plastic surgery, it's already kind of bad, right?
Yeah. And look, and I hate to throw Texas under the bus here, but they fucked up a lot, and not
Ugh.
just here, not just here. Obviously, the judges, right? But countless times with decisions in the past, even things like letting Chavez Jr. get out of the fucking arena without a piss test. It's like, all right, bye, he's out of here. Shit like that. It's like, oh, that irks me when they have fights there, because I know something's gonna happen. Judges, doctors, refs, shit like that. And unfortunately, tonight's fight didn't disappoint in that area. Afterwards, it looked like even what's her name, Taylor did have some sort of cut here as well. I couldn't tell if it was like, I mean, it
And
was like it wasn't as bad as Serrano's.
and for the people that are hiding behind the Taylor victory or whatever, the Taylor win, don't miss me with that. It was the fight of the year candidate. No, it wasn't. In my opinion, it wasn't. Katie Taylor was losing this fight. Now, blame Netflix because their server was acting up. It went across the board. Everybody said, "What's wrong with my screen? It's buffering. I can't see shit." Okay, DAZN. I think I found out what's wrong with DAZN.
Oh,
They
okay.
got small servers, don't they? And on big fights, their pictures aren't coming. Dude, that Netflix looked exactly like every fucking DAZN big fight that's at my house, Miguel. I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean it's the network? That looks like DAZN, babe. Doesn't DAZN? Junior's like, yup, looks like DAZN. I'm like, I know. This is fucking DAZN's issue. Why is Netflix looking like this now? All of a sudden, it's the network's issue. Does I call DAZN? They're like, nah, it's your issue. It's your TV. Fucking assholes. I'm gonna buy a fucking TV. I swear to God, if I bring that to my house and DAZN's next fight looks like that, Miguel, we got a problem. But anyways, so their servers are down. I didn't think it was fight of the year. I thought Serrano was whooping her ass. I thought Serrano had the fight. She stunned her. The other girl's fucking looking desperate as shit, using her head, trying to cheat. She's just trying to cheat. That's not fight of the year. 4 warnings for for headbutts is fight of the year. What?
Point deductions.
Point? Yeah, 2-point deductions. Like, yeah, stop it. Stop. You are going for Katie Taylor. Stop it. Now it's fight of the year. Whatever.
Right, exactly. So that didn't exactly help matters. This whole thing crashing, and I want to point something out here. A lot of people were watching this, right? Obviously, when things start to act up, and this is kind of Netflix's big moment, and they're dropping the ball like this. I don't know if that helped, the sport, not just the server, or the freezing and the constant lagging, but also during the broadcast, earpieces not working. There was a point where, like, that one chick, I forgot her name, was there with Andre Ward and Lennox Lewis and
Right.
whatever, Cedric the Entertainer, where the fuck I was, right? And like, Evander Holyfield was like, huh? And they're like, oh, we're talking to him, and he can't even hear because his damn earpiece isn't working, right? And then it looked like they're playing a game of telephone. She says something, Lennox Lewis says something. He's like, Evander, and it's just like we're going back and forth. And then Lewis asks Evander a question, and then the lady's like, no, that's not what I asked. Like, oh gosh, what the fuck, right? And then Jerry Jones is on, right? His mic isn't working. What the fuck? So it's bad enough that the server is crashing, or like the thing is lagging, right? Netflix is lagging, but then also their equipment is malfunctioning with their earpieces and the mics. It was like, what kind of amateur shit is this? How are you guys
And
not
they
ready for
are.
this?
Remember, it's a streaming app. It's a streaming app. It's not a live show thing. So this
But,
was their
but
first live show.
right, but how can they see other streaming services like DAZN, like
If
ESPN Plus? Wouldn't they be like, all right, let's make sure this shit doesn't happen to us. Let's make sure that we get all our
if
teeth.
if the numbers are correct, they're the big boys on the block in boxing now. Miguel, 120 million homes. 120 million homes.
Well, keep in mind, let's say 120 million, and they see the shit show. Are they going to tune in again?
It doesn't matter. That's the platform right now. That's the number we hit. That's the mark. When you say how
But
far
you
is
can't just do it
boxing,
once. No, you can't just do it
well,
once.
I honestly believe someone told Jake Paul, we're in business. Lay off of Canelo. We're not doing Canelo in fight number 1. They're gonna go look for more MMA guys. They'll look for, it might be Conor fucking McGregor. Don't even get, if Conor can get out of that UFC thing, don't be surprised he comes over here and fights Jake Paul with those kind of fucking numbers. We got to see if it's real. But Jake Paul announced it after. I told Chris and Junior, I said, you know what happened right now? Somebody at Netflix just got at him. How the fuck? All of a sudden he was like, Canelo needs me now. Whatever. Yeah, no, he's going back to plan A. You know what I mean? Fight MMA dudes. They're all buying in. Dude, the crowd hated him. Yet
Yeah. Okay.
72,000 were there.
Okay, so on that note, seeing no, Netflix got into his ear and said, "Hey, drop the Canelo shit. We'll do what we've been doing fighting MMA dudes." Is he getting the same viewership with those MMA
We
dudes
will
as it
see.
would? Because that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
they
we
did it
will
because
see.
it was Tyson, right? Well, Tyson and Jake Paul, but uh, Jake Paul and some fucking no name, 180-pound UFC dude, former UFC guy, is not gonna do 120
Well,
fucking million rounds.
Nate Diaz was not a no name, so we don't know
Yeah,
what a rematch with them two would do. Conor McGregor isn't a no name. We'll see what a kind of match them two would do. So they have fights there, right? They have potential fights there where they don't need Canelo. They don't need Canelo. I can't believe I just said that for Jake Paul.
yeah.
But that's the reality if those numbers are real, what he did tonight. I don't think he looked good though. I'll leave all that for Sunday, but I don't think he looked good tonight. I really don't. Um, he won the fight, but
Sure.
that was trash. Yeah, it
The,
was
the
trash.
commentating was trash. They're
Well, and
like
his
we,
fight,
we were
like
all we all knew what was gonna happen. This was a fucking and by the way, Jake Paul by decision was plus 300. In case anybody
I
forgot,
know
I wish I would have put some fucking
they
that's usually
dogged
shit.
me, Miguel. I had it. I had Serrano. Hey, Abel Ramos. My ticket was live because it was a draw, so that just
Oh
got scratched.
yeah, yeah,
I had
but
Abel Ramos. He was. Hey, Abel, go to the body. I'll wait it for Sunday. But can you please throw a body shot when you got a guy knocked out on his feet? Can we go to the body one time, bro? Or
too
are
much of
we
a
just gonna
headhunter.
go ahead for the next
Yeah.
fucking 10, 13 minutes?
Um,
Fucking hell! I was like, dude, can
yeah.
this guy throw a body shot? Man, dude, oh, Barrios was out.
Yeah.
You PVC guys are trash. I told you this fucking PVC. Eddie Hearn, you're such a loser for not getting Barrios in the ring with boots. Now he's not. He's washed up, bro. You lose to Ape, not lose. You go to war and come out looking the way you did. His face was totally looked like he fucking
Yeah.
got hit by a truck, man. That
Yeah.
boots
He looked
fight
bad.
isn't as big. Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Now it's like, oh, you guys are just grabbing the title. Last night, Barrios is a decent champ. Tonight, you're just grabbing the title. You're cherry picking. Barrios now has to rematch Abel
Abel
Ramos.
Ramos and look good doing it and take him out. I mean, it wasn't like he didn't look good earlier. He would drop to him. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, what the
Yep.
why wasn't he able to do seal the deal and finish the job? I mean, I guess we can go into details on it on
Oh,
Sunday, but oh,
it
go ahead.
was it was one of the most amateur. It was like the first thing you learn in boxing. Don't go backwards. It was so sad how they kept saying that. I told Christina, can they shut the fuck up about going backwards? They're making the world champ look like he doesn't even know the basics. You know what I mean? Well, every time he goes back, look right there, look right there. It was like, Roy, we get it. He's going backwards, but oh my God, yeah, both guys are rock'em sock'em. There was no angles, there was no head movement. It was basically you punch, I punch, you punch, I punch, and yeah, it was funny how Roy kept pointing it out. You know, they need to learn. That's why interviews are good before fights. You got to write down notes. You got to ask fighters things. So you have gap fillers, right? When there's a low in the fight, you can
Mhm.
bring up something he said. Or they had none of that tonight. Tonight was they were reporting what they're seeing, and if everyone was seeing the same shit, well, then you're just getting three different ways of the same shit.
Yeah, right. And then Rosie Perez, I know she's a fan and she's a long time fan, but she's not a color commentator, like that shit's not easy, bro.
It
That's
didn't
not easy.
translate.
It
You
is
mean?
fucking she, and then her with her thick New York accent, it's just like, no, dude, like
And she
I'm sure
kept
she's good.
repeating everything that Roy Jones was saying.
Yeah, or forgetting to talk. She's just quiet for a long time to the point where even Mauro Ronaldo was like, yada 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 yada, Rosie. And then so she can like kind of softball it to her. It's like, hey, chick, don't forget you still got a mic in front of your mouth. Go
Yeah.
ahead and answer the question or something. But it was just stuff like that. Like, and then I texted to you earlier. Mauro Ronaldo wearing a nice fucking tux or a suit, right? And then Rosie Perez wearing a nice dress, and then Roy Jones looking like he's gonna go to Chili's afterwards with his homies. It's like, dude, like he didn't even bother, dressing up. It's just like he's trying on clothes at Burlington, or something. It's just like, I don't know. But the production was, or the team, I should say, um, they Do they just not mesh? I mean, again, it's the first show, but Rosie Perez didn't belong there. She didn't belong there. I get it. She's a fan and a longtime fan, and she knows her shit. But that doesn't mean that doesn't translate into you being a color commentator. Because even fighters, professional fighters who do it, probably suck at it. There's very few that actually do. The ones that stick around are the ones that are actually pretty good at what you said. Not just conveying what's going on in the ring, but also throw in tidbits of information or whatever the hell. None of that today.
Yeah. Yeah, they were missing that in the commentating. As far as the future, I don't know if this is like the telecast, this is the crew, or if this was just a one night thing that was put together for the Tyson fight. Um,
But wouldn't that
but yeah,
be another dropped ball? Because like, if you're gonna put this is like their first foray into boxing, wouldn't they put their best foot forward? Like, wouldn't they try to get the best as they can to color commentate or to do X Y Z
if
whatever? It's like you would think that that's the first thing. Like, all right, we got to get the best of the best because people tune in and hella people are tuning in. If they tune in and see a shit show, and I'll tell you what, back in the day, and a little bit of a history lesson. Back in the day when I was a kid, I loved watching wrestling. Right, it was hot shit. I loved it, and to this day, I watch old school stuff. Back when I was a kid or teen, there were two major promotions that were big: WWF, or WWE now, and WCW. WCW eventually folded in 2001 for other political stuff, but ultimately, when you watch one of their pay-per-views, and they fucked up a lot. They had a certain pay-per-view slot, a couple of hours right on pay-per-view. One particular pay per view, they went over that slot, and the damn feed cut off before we got to the main event or the finish of the main event.
oh wow,
People are, and they had to issue refunds. There was just a big shit show. They were still recording, obviously. So the next night on their Monday night show, they aired that match in its entirety, the main event, because one of the previous matches went over. Anyway, it was just like that stuff is detrimental. You could lose a fuck ton of money if things like this end up happening. And again, this is a little bit of a different scenario. I get it, but this is your first, you know, dipping your toes into the sport of boxing. You can't drop the ball, or you shouldn't. You have to put your best foot forward. That's my. That's why I'm thinking where they
I
dropped the ball.
agree. I agree to some degree with that, but with this situation, it's more of Jake Paul selling these tickets and not MVP promotions. Where in that situation, you're talking more of the WCW dropping the ball, where they're the ones selling the tickets. So I was really interested in what the numbers were. The numbers seem strong. The numbers seem so strong, you guys, that Netflix did something that it's really never done in its history, buffered while it was streaming. I mean, there was multiple people fucking going, "What is going on?" That is a great thing for us. When a site that never had problems and was so huge on their first night streaming your sport now has a problem with too many people wanting access to that thing, that is a great problem to have for Jake Paul and MVP promotions. Um, like I said though, Jake, I think you hella dropped the ball. I really do. His
Yeah,
market went
let's
down
talk about
tonight.
that. Let's talk about that fight because I mean we all knew what was going to happen, right? Uh, I, I I knew that Tyson wasn't going to go down. I knew Tyson and Jake like, hey, Jake, let me at least leave with my dignity. Jake says, yeah, sure, I won't knock you the fuck out. Let's just do this 8 round cash grab. Cool, right? So I figured that's the way it was going to go. I was pretty confident it would, but I had never pulled the trigger on the actual bet. But things like Rosie Perez saying like, "Oh, I'm surprised that he went the fully rounds." Really, chick, you're in on this too. Stop. So stuff like that. That's what bugged me. But anyway, we saw Jake Paul, who, by the way, looked kind of puffy, look a little bloated. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. He's retaining water. Could mean some sort of use of banned substances. I suspect because of how, quite frankly, how soft he looked, how puffy he looked. You can see it even in the interview that he was doing inside of the locker room earlier. He had acne on his face. Now, mind you, he's a young cat, so
Think
that
that's
still
what the
bugged
beard
a
is
little bit.
about.
Probably, probably hiding some of that. So
Yeah.
again, I myself suffered of acne in my 20s, so it does happen. It's not like it's out of the question, and I'm not saying that's the case, but it's when you connect the dots and you see so many things, you're like, hold the front door. Regardless, he's in there against Mike Tyson, who towards the last 3 rounds, barely threw any punches.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
CompuBox percentage was, but and they mentioned it on there a few times, but I was like, I'm already jaded by the fact that I'm watching this fucking fight as it is, but yeah, he was there, essentially just I don't know, I guess trying to survive, I guess, and Jake Paul for the most part was like, okay, I'm not gonna clothesline you over the top rope here. I'm just gonna pepper you from the outside, and it's more than anything a glorified sparring session is what we saw. You can hear it in the crowd, right? On top of the fact that they weren't pleased with the action, they get the decision, and Jake Paul gets on the mic, and they boo him even more, right? I
Yeah.
wasn't.
No.
I wasn't.
Yeah. I wasn't impressed with Paul's performance. Look, we seen Mike Tyson walk out there with the knee brace, so
Mhm.
immediately a red flag goes up that there's something wrong. I think it's about 4 or 5 minutes into the fight. Roy Jones is already convinced that Mike has bad legs, right? And you can see it. He punches, he wiggles, he's got no foundation, man. There's something wrong with the knee, obviously. So we all know no knees, no punching power, right? I get he's a heavyweight champion, but people, darn it, he's a fucking grandfather at 58 years old. I don't know about you, but I don't think I was too scared of Grandpa when I was in my 20s and he was in his 60s, damn near. All right? Grandpa did spar me. No lie. Facts. He did. Yeah, I ain't lying.
For 16
So,
ounce gloves.
yeah, we had big gloves. They weren't
Oh,
small.
okay.
So,
Right.
but
Like
it doesn't
Tyson at
matter. He
14 ounce.
still put on the gloves with me even in his 60s.
Mhm.
Um, but there was no fear. Jake, why did you fear the old man tonight? Take a fucking punch, bro. You can't give the crowd a show? Are you fucking kidding me? What do you think we're here to see you? You think we're here to see you beat up an old man? In round 5, when you know this fight is in the bag, points wise, you can't take a right hand, maybe show a little wiggle, take a left hook, go into the ropes like, oh shit, Mike got me, and then play. Play the crowd, dog. Sell a fucking ticket, dude.
Yeah. Look at Tyson Fury. Sell a fucking ticket, homie.
Yes. Right now, dude, Tyson had there was nothing left in him in round 6, 7, and 8. You carried the fight, but you carried it by like running and staying away, like, oh, don't hit me. Like, you were really that there, like, bro, I know everyone's gonna hide. Excuse me. He's gonna hide around the fact that he's a heavyweight champ, but we've clearly seen he was wounded tonight going in the ring. So it doesn't matter if you know how to land a punch if you don't have the foundation to throw it. The punch isn't gonna hurt. You're normal. Your superpowers are gone when you have no knee. You get it, Miguel? Like, I was hella let down that Jake Paul didn't give Mike a moment. I was thinking a knockdown. Fuck a knockdown. You can't give him a moment though in the last two. You couldn't give the crowd one reason to stand up and have that Mike Tyson wave go through the crowd of, oh shit, he got him, and then went on points. Go back to running around, you bitch. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Straight up, man.
all he had was like the last 10 seconds where he was like doing this valley thing. It's like, dude, no, it's too late. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Give
Well,
him,
and
give him.
I mind the respect. That was all cool. That was all cool. My thing was you played scared to a guy that had no leg. His fucking leg is gone in 3 minutes of this fight. Mike was like, I think I could do this. Oh shit. His leg just starts wiggling, bro. He's like, what the fuck? What's happening to my legs? They didn't do this. No, it's fight time now. This isn't sparring for 30 seconds. This isn't doing a 10-second video. Now your legs got to move for 2 minutes straight on this. And they did not react at all. Just watch Roy Jones. He's like, I don't. And then once again, Roy had to say it 17,000 times about the legs not looking good. And it was like, we get it, Roy.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
get it.
he was initially asked. I don't remember if it was Rosie or Morrow who asked him, but like, like, is this? Do you remember this from when you fought? It's like, well, he was like 54 back then, so it's like 4 years younger at the time, and it's like, well, he still had a little bit more spring in his legs in the early 50s. Now he's in his late 50s. On top of that, he's got that damn knee brace. So yeah, he was wobbling out there, and you can tell like he goes back to his corner in the third or fourth, and he's just running out of gas already. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the same lung capacity. You can't do that shit. You don't have that same kind of cardio. Um, I would have expected. I mean, even like Jake Paul's corner were in his face, like, dude, get in there, fuck, get in there already. He's obviously he's tiring. He has no legs. You're literally standing in front of him to like, I mean, not standing in front of him, but like you can stand in front of him and unload a good combination. You can probably take his ass out. Go ahead and do it. He didn't. I have my suspicions, but regardless, that went that. It was a snooze fest, and you can tell that the crowd was just like, and look, great
But
that they
yeah,
filled up that place really good.
it's really because like 6 minutes by the third round, this isn't Mike. This is some bullshit.
Yeah,
Mike, you're just praying he doesn't get beat up at that point, And you can see the whole crowd when the bell rang and they go to like the high view camera.
mm.
You could just see everyone's like arms crossed, everyone's quiet. The
See,
the
but
the
how
energy has left the building.
many times can they get away with that? That's what I'm saying. Like, people tune in to watch this shit. Are they gonna tune in again? People who filled up the stadium, are they gonna fill it up again when they see the shit show that this becomes? The parody, the glorified sparring session. Are they gonna really go and buy the ticket again so they can stand and be like, I guess we should have known. We didn't have to wait until the third round to say, oh, we should have known what's going to happen. We should have known as soon as the fucking signed the dotted line. You know what I mean? So I wanted to, you know, talk about it because it's yet it can be either way. It can be either a black eye, which a lot of fans are going to look at it and be like, "What the hell is this garbage?" But it was a commercial success, or at least it looked like, at least in regards to the ticket sales and the live gate, and then of course the thing crashing. They're gonna have to get on it, right? Netflix is gonna have to like up their fucking equipment or something so it doesn't happen
He's
again.
the well. To be honest with you, they do fix it by the main event. In my house, it never happens during the whole Tyson fight. Now, I watched that whole fight high def.
It happened
It,
twice with me, but
oh
only
wow.
twice. But only twice. And here's the
Yeah.
thing, and maybe I here's I actually don't use Netflix. I use ESPN Plus or DAZN because obviously I watch fights, right? I even have Hulu, uh, but Discover Plus. I'll watch those other ones. I don't really use Netflix really. The only reason I have it is because I recently changed my plan with my T-Mobile. T-Mobile's my carrier, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll give you Netflix for free." I was like, "Oh shit, cool." That's literally the only reason I have it, right? So I didn't know this was the case when I was watching it at home, and it would freeze. I would exit and then come back, right? And then it'll be fine. But it would bring me back to the point of the fight where I left off at. I didn't know that it wouldn't take me to the live part. So I was like, I saw the little meter across the bottom of the screen, and I'm like, how come it's behind? I was like, oh shit! It's when I come back into Netflix, it brings me back to where it was at the point that it kicked me out. So I was like, fuck, man. So I'm like behind. So I don't know. That's just how it is. I mean, again, this is the first boxing
Mine
fight, so I don't know. That's how it works.
mine gave you the option. It said start at where you left off, start live or start from the beginning. Mine would give you the option when you came
Mm,
back in.
all right. Yeah, I don't know. That shit was weird, but um, okay. So let's I guess for a little bit talk about post fight, right? Um, Mike Tyson says, yeah, he's a good fighter, yeah, XYZ. By the way, the guy, facilitating this interview in the ring, Ariel Helwani, he used to be an MMA guy. He goes back and forth between MMA and boxing. Dana White hates this motherfucker. He hates him to the point where he's even gotten him like kicked out of fucking events because he asks the most stupid fucking questions, and he's like the biggest instigator. Like, if you think about people in high school who talk shit and like, oh, but he said this about you and he said this about you, oh, and then he starts like, this guy is the biggest shit stirrer, and he's gotten on people's nerves so bad. There are times where he gives some great fucking interviews. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, but by and large, this dude loves to stir the shit up, and it pisses me off. So he's doing that. He's forcing this out of Mike, right? Mike really is like he's tired as fuck. His questions are very short, and he's like, "Okay, Mike, so who's next? Like, like, are you gonna do it again?" He's like, "What's in your gut?" He's like, "Dude, just let the fucking dude go rest already." Like he's really stretching his damn interview. And then he says, "Well, who's next?" And then Tyson says, "Well, maybe Logan Paul." And Logan Paul's like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Dude, I'll cook and kill you." And like, "Okay, okay." Well, you see, he just did that. He pushes and pushes and pushes, and we get these stupid ass reactions. And then what you mentioned, him, Jake Paul basically backing off of the Canelo thing, right? Not even going forward, saying like, "All right, let's go ahead and call him out," because again, even him, the Ariel Helwani in the middle is like really calling it like you said earlier, it was Canelo. Like, what the fuck, like, dude, he doesn't want to call him out. Leave it at that. That when and one of the reasons why I did not like Showtime Boxing is because of Jim Gray's stupid questions afterwards. Like, do you think you won the fight? What the fuck does that matter? What is it gonna be like? Oh yeah, I told you lost the fight. I
I
fucking
told
lost.
yeah.
Like who's gonna say that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're surprised that like, are you surprised that you won the fight? Who's gonna answer? Like Jim Gray asked the dumbest fucking question. So I wasn't pleased with that either. But you mentioned Jake Paul easing off the Canelo thing. Somebody got into his ear, right? And someone from Netflix saying, "Hey, we did big business today. We got ourselves a deal. Let's leave that shit behind, and we'll find some other son of a bitch. Maybe Connor, maybe somebody else like that. Who else can do, these kinds of numbers besides those big, MMA dudes? Because he's not going to go legit, right? He's not going to go legit. And I mentioned this earlier. Jake Paul at some point is going to have to pick a side, right? Either he continues with his circus sideshow type of fights, or he tries to go legit and actually become a professional champion. I don't think it's going to go that route now. Now that we know
No
that 120 fucking million people tuned in to see this train wreck.
circus. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
gonna obviously go in that direction, but he's gonna continue to say like, "Oh, yeah, I'm legit, give me my credit," kind of thing. But
You,
anyway,
I think the YouTubers underneath the card helped out. You can't remember they were saying something about 150 million followers for those two guys. They said
yeah, yeah,
they said Netflix was also in their countries. So you got it's a global thing. I think they're going to feed off of that. Look for more influencers to probably be on the undercard, right? As long as Jake can get these guys to sign and fight, this is probably where this is going to stay. Now, as far as Paul, he has just the options we've already talked about in the MMA side. As far as boxing, I really don't know anyone besides Mike Tyson that would give him this type of response. There was love in that ring for Mike tonight. And Mike is definitely a legend, hey, look, his ass cheeks are legacy, a legend. That's his legacy, bro. Is gonna be him walking away from the sport with his ass cheeks hanging out, eh?
when
Fucking
he
Mike's
big
crazy,
old
bro.
fucking chocolate cheeks on the fucking
Hey,
screen.
the best one so far was the baby boy. Have you seen? Remember baby boy when the dude, his stepdad's cooking, his mom's boyfriend, really, is cooking naked. Tyrese is
No,
like in the come on, baby boy, bro.
I
And
know what movie you're talking about, but I don't like it.
Tyrese is, I don't know if he walks in the living room or whatever, like he just woke up and the dad's fucking cooking naked, eh? Yeah, his ass cheeks also. That was Mike. They got Mike in that. They got Mike at the stove. He's got Mike's ass on the dad, and it says Netflix right now.
Funny how it
Hey,
didn't lag then, right? It wasn't fucking,
dude,
it didn't get
uh,
stuck then.
bro, that's so fucking for reals. That's so for reals.
Uh,
The whole thing was blurry, blurry. Oh, look, Mike's ass cheeks blurry,
I know you
blurry,
can
blurry.
see the sharpness and its crack, but it continues to. Goddamn, it doesn't stop there, right? It sure got a good glimpse of that son of a bitch. And as a matter of fact, funny because like the cameraman, I guess must have not realized it either. Because as soon as he realized it, he like zoomed in on his upper body immediately, so you can't get any more of Mike Tyson's ass. Oh God, what a fucking shit show. We'll definitely go into more details and everything by Sunday. And as a matter of fact, we might even get some numbers between now and then, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't know if they work
Yes.
the weekend, but we might get some numbers. We'll be able to discuss it in greater detail. Was there? There's the night I made a whole bunch of notes, of course, that I want to talk about that we'll talk about on the show Sunday. But anything in particular that you liked or didn't like that you kind of want to bring up now as a little teaser for Sunday?
Really, just. No, just about the future, probably of Jake Paul. I want to see how Netflix responds. Basically, what they're gonna look. They're saying we had some groundbreaking things, right? I believe it's gonna be the most watched boxing match ever. 120 million homes.
What did Mike Tyson do when he beat Buster
Dude,
Matthews
he's
a few
only
years
in
back
the
on
it's
Fox?
only like 40 something million Fox. And it might even be lower than that. It might have been in the 20s, but back then that was huge, bro. That was 26 million homes watching one man. You know what I mean? But come on, 120 million homes, bro. We've never had anything like this. I mean, Jake Paul literally might be number 1 on the list. You guys, maybe Floyd comes back to fight him. Don't
Yeah,
he already fought the
yeah,
brother.
right. There's a
Did you
storyline
hear?
already in place.
Yeah, did you hear he's fighting in Russia against Mazdadov, or did you hear that one?
Floyd?
Yeah,
No, fuck out of
that
here.
yeah, they said they're going to do an exhibition in November. It's already signed. We'll bring it up Sunday. There's a teaser. Hey,
Yeah,
rumor is Floyd's
all
fighting in
right.
Russia. So so
Wow.
that
Against
could be
Masvidal, against Jorge Masvidal.
no.
Oh
What's the
no.
other one's name? The one that retired, bro. I think the one that jumped over the cage when he beat McGregor. Remember, he
Oh,
jumps into the crowd.
Khabib Nurmagomedov?
Khabib, yeah, I think him.
No shit. Oh, good lord. I'm gonna look this. Oh, that makes sense. Russia. I get you now. Okay, because
Yeah,
when you think about yeah, Khabib is the easy. His last name is Nurmagomedov, but it's kind of like
they're all Mazmadov to me.
it,
Sorry, you guys. Sorry.
it, it ends in a V somehow, so that don't do. Um, but I'll look into that
Damn
because I
it.
didn't hear about that.
Khabib is so much easier to remember.
It is.
Damn it.
It is much much. I mean, the first names are generally pretty easy to remember compared to the last name because they do have like combinations, man. They'll like add to, and I think like at one point they were hyphenated and then they stopped being hyphenated, so it's just like a whole bunch of constants and fucking
Could you
syllables.
imagine if Floyd's O is sold to Jake Paul? Could it be possible?
Uh, you know,
It'd be
considering
disgusting.
considering I guess
All the financial troubles he's
right,
in.
right. Like if that one fight bails him out, I mean, if that one fight not only bails him out but gives him a little bit of pocket change on top of that, a little bit of a cushion, I would not be surprised. I mean, that's dude, we will never hear the end of it from Jake. We would never hear that son of a bitch shut up about him being the 50-1 and oh gosh, and like you all thought I was an legitimate boxer and I beat the fucking guy and my brother couldn't even beat him.
Right.
Oh man, I
So
can
put
imagine some.
put Floyd's name in the list. We'll try to think of a few other guys that could possibly be on this new radar of Jake Paul if the success of Netflix was as big as they said immediately after the fight. But to me, we got to see what records are broken. Now that 20 million live gate is not a record. It might be a record in Dallas, but it's not a record in Las Vegas. There's been many 20 million plus gates in Las Vegas, so I didn't buy that one. 72,000 seats. Got to see if that is real, but they're saying that broke
They're saying that it got 72,000. I mean, well,
72,000.
so it's AT&T Stadium, right? Is that what it is,
Yeah,
right? How do
yeah,
you know what their capacity is?
yeah. It's like 90 or
Oh
100.
shit! Oh, and they got
72.
uh,
They're saying they remember they before the fight they said they broke Canelo's. They broke
oh,
Canelo's record. Yeah, so we just got to see if it's real. If it,
sure, sure,
if
sure.
they if Jerry Jones freaking says, "Oh yeah, I sold this many tickets, this is what we made," then it is what it is. However they did it, they did it. So we got to see that, and then from there. But yeah, dude, no, you got to take names off of the radar. Like we wanted Antonio Tarver. This is just real quick. We wanted Tarver. Tarver can't be on there anymore. He's not that big. He's not
I was
Mike
gonna ask you
Tyson
that
big.
without going too deep because we want to talk about it on Sunday. Like they're gonna have to go back to the well with Jake every
Exactly.
single fucking time. Like this is what I'm thinking,
Well,
right?
this is the Jake show right now, Miguel. He built this whole platform. This is all him. So yes, the well is definitely the Jake Paul well because he made it. So they have to find guys that can generate eyeballs and that Jake can also beat. They're not looking for Jake to get beat. That's why he stepped back from Canelo. I'm telling you, it's fucking It's clear as day is what's going on when he fucking pulled back from the Canelo call out, because really that was his big payday. If Jake Paul would have gotten the Canelo fight tonight, everything he worked for would have been a success. He came to the sport to get the big fight and he got it. Boom, he's done. I'm making 100 million. I'm walking away happy as hell. Instead, something happened, and now all of a sudden he wants to keep doing this.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
happened though.
that's definitely something a little fishy. Because this is my train of thought, right? Boom, we get a lot of people saying, "Oh shit, we can tune in to watch, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, whatever, free on Netflix," and it gets people's attention. So next time around, we'll put in a legitimate fight between two dudes who can probably throw down, and it'll be entertaining. And it's like, hey guys, remember last time? We got a great card with. I mean, it wasn't a great main event, but I thought that would be like the bait. So then, once people are interested, then we'll throw in a legitimate fight between two dudes who can fucking throw down, and we'll have ourselves a pretty solid card at that point. But considering all the stuff that I saw today, I'm not entirely sure that that's even going to come down anymore. I mean, I think this is like you said, the Jake Paul show. They're not probably going to give that main event spot to anybody else. Oh, real quick, did you see the Squid Game people like ringside or so? Did you see that? Like, there's a show called like Squid Games or some series or something
Yes.
on, right? And there was like guys dressed up like the character or something ringside. They had like a fucking hoodie on and a mask, and it was just like supposed to be some sort of announcement for the next thing. Guys, Netflix, if you're listening, don't do what Turkey has done with these stupid shit, with these concerts or any of that stuff. We don't give. If you're tuning in to watch the Jake Paul show, then you're probably a casual fan anyway. But they probably don't give two fucks about squid shows. Enough of that stuff. I don't like that. I saw a lot of celebrities there. Did you recognize? I didn't see.
There was
I
a
didn't.
lot of it was a lot of Netflix actors. To
Oh, is that
me,
what it was?
it looked
I,
like
that
Netflix.
explains why I didn't recognize anyone.
It looked like Netflix was doing the same thing HBO used to do with kind of trying to promote their guys right there in the front row. They had the Cobra Kai guys. Did you see that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they had them two there. They were showing them
Karate
off,
Kid
and
and
then
Ralph Macchio and everything.
yeah, and then they showed a commercial immediately after. And look, 120 million people seen it tonight. So it was a success. Whatever that was a very good success. Now we got to see. I'll tell you, I wasn't really impressed with the commercial of that Cobra Kai. Wow, that it looked like bad production, but whatever. I thought that show was better than that. You know what I mean? That looked like Power Rangers shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, what is going
uh,
on? Yeah, I didn't know the show was that low budget, but whatever. We'll see if it gets bigger numbers. Either way, I'm happy. Barrios, Ramos, you guys fought your ass off. Thank you for not knowing how to use angles or defense, as Roy Jones kept reminding everyone on the
yeah,
telecast. It's like, are we really fighting? This is for the belt? All right, Roy
yeah.
Jones says they have no defense and they don't know how to back up properly.
This is really for the WBC welterweight championship of the world.
There's like two first rules you learn in boxing: don't move straight backwards.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Um, the, for as many people that was there, and I guess we'll go into more detail on Sunday, but did the crowd seem kind of dead to you during some of these fights? Now, maybe it's just because they're so spread apart, or there's such a big ass stadium. But during that Ramos and Barrios fight, they were throwing down. It was a freaking slugfest. It was rock'em sock'em. I would have thought I would have heard more pop out of the crowd. Maybe it was just I had the television on. I mean, I was ironing my shirt when I was watching this shit, so maybe I didn't hear the crowd. But it didn't seem like they were very piped, or maybe I
I'm
misheard.
trying to remember what fight they were, because the crowd did come alive. The two fights were good fights, but Ramos and
Barrios.
Barrios happened so early they might not have been there yet. You know how that kind of happens in
Mm,
boxing, right? When it's a main event driven fight, they show up for the main event. All the casual fans, you would say.
sure.
But for anyone who tuned in, and look, a lot of us diehards, we told everyone, tune into the undercard, tune into the undercard. It was a success for us tonight. People that tuned into the undercard, That's one thing that sucks for a fighter when the controversial decision happens to casuals. They don't give a shit. Casuals are like, "Oh, that was a good fight. Who cares? I'll watch you again." That's all they
You
say.
don't think they'll give a shit? Like, you don't think? I mean,
No. They
I
won't.
mean,
They're not going to be like, no. It's not going to ruin
well,
that they were entertained for that whole hour. Not for like a diehard. Diehards take it differently. I'm thinking about Serrano. I'm thinking about her career. Now it's fucking bullshit. Casual isn't fucking thinking about Serrano. They
well,
just
no,
know it
no,
was a good.
but but do you think that will taint it? Because, like, here's the thing: there's people that watch a movie and the ending sucks for them, and they're like, "Well, that whole fucking movie sucked." Well, no, it's just the ending sucked, but the rest of the movie was pretty decent. No Country for Old Men comes to mind, but
The
regardless,
ending.
because
The
because Serrano and Taylor, that decision, the crowd was fucking booing. Do you think they'd be like, "Fuck these
I
bitches,
don't
I ain't
even
watching
know
this
if a
shit again"?
casual was watching the decision.
No.
We're talking about people that are just entertained off the fight, right? They got no connection to the what's gonna happen next, or oh, I gotta follow her career now. That's not happening. They were just there for the entertainment, and those two girls fought their ass off. Unfortunately for Serrano, they didn't give a shit 5 minutes after the fact that you got robbed. That's just how that goes. For diehards, we will give a shit. And I'll tell Serrano like this: I went to the chat rooms. You're winning. I've actually never seen a fight that had it so one-sided that fucking everyone believes Katie Taylor lost that fight. It's pretty across. That's why I was really shocked that Andre Ward and Roy Jones stood on the oh, it was a close fight. I'm not going to say that because Serrano's even she's under the contract of MVP
Right.
promotions.
Right.
So you think they would have leaned towards Serrano, but they didn't. But then when I went to the internet, because I was in my mind, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? What did I just watch? I go to the internet and like every single post had this was a robbery, this is a robbery. So um yeah, it sucks to be Eddie Hearn right now. That clapback Thursday ain't gonna be too nice, but
Well, he finally got one, I guess, right, with
he
Katie
he
Taylor. So
he got one with three men basically in that room. Everyone else kind of had it the other way. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So, and we know it's the ones that count, but also sometimes the public eye, yeah, that can determine a win or
yeah,
loss too. You know what I mean? Serrano might just have more views on her next fight than Katie Taylor does. It might be that way.
yeah.
So,
And we
so
might get that clap back on Thursday, like, Eddie, your guy lost or your girl lost.
yeah,
Kind of those one of things. Yeah, I figured that would taint people. Like
we
they see the
have to.
fight and it's in it.
Promise you we'll have the copy box tomorrow. We got to get that. I got to see where these 100 and something extra punches went in a 10-round fight. In a 10-round fight, a
And the
hundred and something.
2 minute rounds.
Oh my God, he even made it worse. You're right.
Yeah,
2 minute rounds,
yeah.
10 rounds, 100 and something punches more, and they give this girl 8 rounds. They give her 8 rounds out of 10, right? What do
Oh,
they have to give?
oh,
Because
I
she
didn't pay
comes.
attention.
I know. I'll look up. I'm just going off a dumb man's. To give her the decision, she had to win 6. They did 12 rounds, right?
No, no, no. What? Oh, hold on. They did 10
It's a
rounds.
10 round.
It's
10 round.
for women. It's 10 rounds, championships, and
So she has to win 6 of the 10 to get a decision, correct?
yeah, right.
But she also had 2 points taken away from her for headbutts.
Red butts, yeah.
So she had to win.
That many
Also
more.
beat those. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm pulling
How
up here,
the
but it's
fuck?
still.
And then one scorecard's 110 to 116. Am I correct that
Hold
one of
on,
those
hold on.
scorecards is 110, 116?
No, no, it can't. In a
Look
10 round
up the
fight,
scorecards, bro.
hold the front door. There's no
The
fucking
math
way.
ain't mathing right now, Miguel.
We'll do our research, folks. We'll do it
Yes.
by the time Sunday comes around, because how you can't get that in a 10 round fucking. Oh, good lord. Okay, well, that's going to be one of our assignments this weekend. Is just, mind you, we're just hopping on here real quick, kind of,
I
impromptu
know. We got to go to
out
bed.
here.
It's 11
Yeah,
o'clock.
oh, well, it's Friday night and we're off tomorrow, so fuck it. Oh, you know what? We got to get up early tomorrow because why? Latino night, right? Riyadh
Oh,
season
Riyadh.
is
It's in
soon.
the
So
afternoon.
can't forget.
Yes.
This weekend is so fucking tight, dude. We got this tonight. right? And I know we've talked about it before, how it kind of sucks having fights early because then later on the evening you're like, what the fuck? Like especially on a Saturday, right? But this weekend, right, today in particular, tonight, Friday night, we have Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, I guess, of Pacific Standard Time, we have Reality Season Latin Night on DAZN. And then later that evening, UFC 309 from Madison Square Garden. Oh shit, that's gonna be a killer. This is gonna be a killer ass weekend. So
I'm a dick. They were all 95, 94. Sorry, guys. That was some other. That was some other fight card. Sorry about that. 95, 94. All three.
Why are you spreading rumors?
Oh, hey, bro. We got white out on one of them. Oh, we got controversy, bro. We have white out on one of the scorecards. I'll send it to you, Miguel.
Please,
motherfuckers. Someone don't know math. Someone's math wasn't mathing. They had to pull out the whiteout.
Guys, you keep a running tally after every round, okay? Sorry, that's just how it's done.
We have two scorecards that have whiteout. I gotta send this shit to you. I'm not even lying, bro. You can see someone put whiteout on the back number. Oh, gotta write that one over.
Judges, please.
I've never seen that before.
By the way, who has whiteout these days? You don't just cross it out like.
I hope I'm wrong. I gotta send this to you.
I didn't know people still even made in production. I thought that was discontinued. Everything is digital now. We don't need no fucking actual whiteout.
Oh my god, bro! This app doesn't do screenshots. You know what? I don't like that. Why can't I do screenshots anymore, Miguel? I don't like that about the new web. I don't know. It seems like it's everywhere now. Whenever I try to do a screenshot, you know how I always send you pictures. Dude, it doesn't allow me to do that shit anymore. I don't know why. That's really pissing me off. I try to click in and it says this app doesn't allow screenshots. So how the fuck am I supposed to save the photo?
Check this out. I know this is a roundabout way. Get your wife's phone, take a picture of your screen.
Awesome.
And then, that's the only way I can think.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that.
We've done it a few times with a lot of phones. Okay, well, we'll wrap this up, guys. We didn't really want to do too much of a long show, and like we mentioned, we got to go to bed early because we're gonna wake up tomorrow morning and not watch Saturday morning cartoons, but rather Saturday morning or afternoon boxing. So thank you guys for joining us for this brief little rant / post fight show. We will definitely come back Sunday with more details and more info, so we can get on that Sunday. Thank you for joining us. You enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please enjoy the fights. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace and take care.